fact that you are going through the fact that you are going through evil things shouldn't make you justify things and say, oh yes, then that means there is a devil. You could find out that there probably isn't any devil at all. Because in some of the religious books, it is revealed to us that God himself, at some point, put people through that evil act in order to turn around and strike them and punish them. Even in the book, he made them sin so that he can punish them and kill them and destroy them, or whatever it is that he chooses to do. So whether it is God speaking there or the devil who is doing that, I don't know. The accuser of the brethren, which one it is. Think about these things. I don't know why people don't think along this line. Are we seeking for answers? Are we seeking for the truth? Or we are just for the pleasure of it? Or for the fact that things are going well? That's it. Oh, we have accepted life. We have to hard work and suffering can get us. Fine, I agree. Fine, hard work and suffering can give you what you want. In fact, that is what nature looks like to me so far. But thinking about it in a sense that God gave you the strength to work hard and get what you have to get, of course. And so who gave you, who did it then? You did it. He has given you the strength. And so you have used your strength and you've got what you have to get. So you have done it. Out of what you have got, you have done it. It is now up to you to prove where you get the strength from. That is, in a sense, you are trying to prove the source that gave you the strength. That is what the seeking is about. Establish that. But in reality and in the evidence, what is more evidence to you and I is that you had strength in you and you use your strength and you got what you have got. But for you to go extend, to that far explanation, beyond you, without any evidence backing it and say God gave you some strength, you're making people think, what is wrong with these people or this guy? Why are they thinking that God gave me? Where is God? Who is God? Then that question of doubting and all that thing comes in. Because nobody sees anything, nobody knows anything. Our eyes cannot see beyond that. And then you are making from all of a sudden, from the blue sky, you are making wild claim that there is a God. He did that because you went into a cave and somehow you dream or you went through some experience, like what I usually use as an example, my experience and what I went through. So I go out there in public and begin to tell people that God is there. There is a God. Where is the God? Where is he? Because he says, let God be God, and God hit God used me to speak like that. So there is a God, and so I should go out there and declare him, or sort of declare. How stupid will I look? Now, it's not about stubbornness and refusing anything. It's about proving that there is a God. It's about proving that whatever I went through is real. It has got the abilities and the power that I believed in, that others are to sort of that they are supposed to know. Because if I go out there making a wild claim of God being giving us power, God giving us life, God giving us that, and I know he's real and I've gone through an experience and all that, how do I prove all that to anybody? I can't. And if you can't do something, you don't mislead anybody. You don't know the end part of it. Even looking at those who made the foundation, even the Christianity himself or Islamic people himself, the leaders or the founders, according to the story, had proof of what their God is. You don't have it. You going out there and say, we are doing it on behalf of so and so. And he tells you in a book that if you really got what I have, I depended on, or what I believe, then you are a true follower of me. You will see these signs will follow you. The signs that I did, it will follow you. It will happen. So the very things that he had, the abilities that he had, you even have and have more than what he had. And you don't see a thing of that in your life. And you are still making claim. How stupid should we be? How stupid are we? I'm not talking about just me. So my challenge is very legitimate. It's right. It's a good thing that I do that. If I don't get a job, I'm suffering. My life is terrible. I can't find things going on well. I'm having issues at work. I'm having issues for in a family. I'm having issues with friends. I'm having issues with religion. I'm having relations with that. My life certainly has not come to that joyous state. And at the end of the day, I have to acknowledge that. I have to be very much challenging that. I have to be able to sort of confront those things in a very honest and truthful way. I don't have to, be slacking about it and showing off or trying to make that, justifying it in certain ways, making excuses with my life. What is the meaning of that? What would I gain from that? There is a single thing that I will gain from that. So people will stay at where they are because they are not willing to see through the light that they are meant to see through. That is what this is about. I am not going to sort of tolerate the idea of any spirit at all, whether my experience, what I go through, whether I'm shortness of breath, whether I'm dying. If I'm dying or I'm having issues, I know of a physical approach where you have to see a doctor for help, where physically there have been some improvement, and ask, if I get it, so be it. If I don't get it, so be it. At the end of the day, I clearly and honestly have put away the pride or shame of my religious thoughts or what the religion wants me to think, and I've confronted a physical help or a physical assistance. I get it, fine. If I don't get it, fine. I just feel that others might have their own views of rejection. There are people who are in this practices of what physical practices who even are still cornered with this religious garbage most of the time. Recently, there is a doctor who was trying to preach to his patients in talking about Jesus and all that, and he had to lose his job, and he wouldn't understand. I mean, if it was Jesus that made you a doctor, you have to say it. But he has been made to believe that God gave him wisdom, and he still hold on to his beliefs, and but you were sitting night mowing in your head, learning all these scientific words that are beyond, and you have been able to become a doctor. If you were focusing on your religion or your believing and the advices of God, do you think you will ever become a doctor? If you study the Bible, you don't become a doctor. You become a reverend, a pope. That's where you go. It is a whole different dimension altogether. You don't study Bible and become because that is what God's word is about. God's word does not give you the wisdom of becoming a doctor or become an engineer. You don't know it either. It doesn't take you there. Those things don't take you anywhere there. So if you have taken the engineering work, you ask, how did we come about engineering? People who made the first step, and the records have been kept there, and you are going to learn and follow so that you can also do something. And it's more to do with secular world, the abilities of men being exhibited out there, the talent being put out there. And you want to advise your patients, telling that patient about your faith. The institution has every right, the establishment you are in has every right to sack you from there, because your moment of practicing your work there is to rather encourage the patient to be strong, say things that will make them healthy, try to talk about the physical things that you've learned, advices that you know about, the things that can make that patient, be uplifted and, come off the idea of fear of what his faith or what his physical experiences is doing to him. It's not about anything spiritual. You have studied about the body, the human body, and that is what you have to talk about. That is your gospel. Your gospel is the talking about the human body, the fleshly attributes that physically. But if you want to link it with the spiritual thing, you have deviated. You've gone through all those for nothing, and the establishment cannot tolerate that because they have no answers to spiritual things. So if you want to tell patients about that, you are missing the whole point, and you are diluting the medication that you are supposed to give that person, both mentally and physically, materially, with something spiritual, which won't work, because you will end up making that person have a wrong diagnosis. You are mixing his drugs that he's supposed to take from you. That is true counseling advices. These are all healing process. If you counsel them well, you're healing them. But if your counseling is going along the spiritual side, you are giving them the wrong